This video is for fly stitch. This is the basic fly stitch here in a line, and you can see there's this V-shaped stitch and then another stitch from the point of one V to the point of the second V. And here they are in a continuous straight line. Here they are in a curving line with various widths between them, so it ends up looking a little bit like a feather when they're close together, or a little baseball stitching almost when they're further apart. And then these are a detached fly stitch, so they're just done individually, and the little stitch that would connect them is left as a tail. And I think these look like dandelion blossom seeds or little footprints maybe for like a duck or other animal. So it could be used for all sorts of different stitches. So let me go ahead and show you how to make a fly stitch. I've gone ahead and marked 2 straight lines on the fabric with little dots every 1/4 inch or so on both sides of the line. So we're going to bring the thread up. We're going to go down straight across from the point that we came out of, and we're going to leave a little working loop on our fabric, and we're going to come up somewhere in between the 2 lines and in between the 2 dots. So it's kind of the center point, as if you had a 5 on a die. This would be the center point of those 5 dots. You're going to bring your thread up and take a stitch down where the center point of those 5 dots would be on the next square. This is a lot like making a chain stitch because you come up, you leave a working loop and come back down. You come back up inside that loop and then you take a stitch to secure it. The difference is the placement of the stitches. Instead of having 2 stitches in the same place, you're going to have 2 stitches spread apart. And instead of a tiny stitch to anchor it, you're taking a longer stitch down to the next point of your stitches. But the mechanism is really very similar to a chain stitch if you already have that mastered. So again, up, straight across, come up at the bottom of your previous stitch, and go back down in between the next 4 points. This is a little off kilter there, sorry, the line isn't perfectly straight at the angle I'm stitching at, but you can see how it's made. And then if you want to do a detached fly stitch, you just go ahead and take the top of that V, wherever you want those 2 points to be, figure out where you want your center point to be, and then take a stitch for however long you want that tail to be, and you have a detached fly stitch. So in this circular sampler, this inner circle is done in fly stitch in the green, and then in the intersections between some of the stitches I added little French knots in different colors. For the alphabet sampler, I've used fly stitch on this U. So I started it at the top of each end of the U and came around down to the bottom, leaving those last little tails. And I'll probably fill in with some sort of flower or other decoration. I think this looks a little bit like laurel leaves or some sort of evergreen branches, so you could use it for a wreath or something else like this.